Shalom UncleK. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother, UncleK, and we're back with another one. I hope you're having a Baruch day, and I hope right now you have a sound mind and a sound heart. Now, before we get into the content, like the content, share the content, and comment down below. And if you're not a supporter, then become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So let's get into it. The set apart man, he has been through a great deal of pain. This man has been through a ton of adversity. This man has been through so many obstacles. He has lost many things in his life. He has been through a tremendous amount of lows. And through those lows, it helped build his character. And he had to fight. So when this man looks at his position right now, he gives all glory and all reverence to the Most High. Because those experiences are looked at as now beautiful. Right, because you realize that you are strong, because you endured, you had that experience. That's why you have this strength about yourself. Right, that's why when you stand in your position, that's why you're not shaken and you're not moved. That's why you bring some intimidation to people. Because something that you went through in your life built your character to bring you to this position right now. That's why that tough act, it don't hold weight. It's an act. A lot of people out here, they like to put on a tough act. It's only an act. Right? You see, we learned our lessons from all that pain. We learned our lessons from all those stumbling blocks, from all those hurdles, all those things that we had to run through, all those boulders that we had to break with our shoulders, all those boulders we had to lift up and toss out the way as well too. We went through that experience. That's why that tough act don't hold no weight. You see, and the reason why they put on a tough act is only because they intimidated. A lot of these individuals that's in this world, they put on a tough act because they watching movies. They watching screens. They imitating what the other man is doing. They imitating what the other person is doing. A lot of people imitate other people's lifestyles instead of finding out who they truly are, finding out their character, finding out how strong they really are, how built they can be. The only way you can find those things out is if you go through the trials, if you go through the pain. If you go through the adversity, if you gain that experience, that's going to give you that wisdom and that understanding that now in the position that you are, you know what it takes to move forward. But for those individuals that's out here playing a tough act, they're not going nowhere because it's only an act. They listen to this music, they listen to these rappers, and these rappers be talking about a whole bunch of gimmicks. You writing it down on lyrics. That's soft. How about you just go live your life? You talking all this street antics, talking all this foolery about women, about this, that, about the things and possessions that you have. And then a ton of other men out here is putting on that same character like they a tough guy just because the beat. Right? It makes you, it puts on it gives you like a certain spirit. Right, you start to change your presence starts changing when you start listening to these individuals. They just casting spells, same thing like these movies, they just casting spells. They want you to believe this is how you're supposed to be as a certain kind of people. But that's not how we move. We don't spend our time watching movies. We spend our time getting right, living out this life, walking this walk, working out our salvation with fear and trembling. Through all that, you gain way more experience than an hour and 30-minute film. a 3-minute song, you get way more experience than a 3-minute song, which people are playing that 3-minute song over 1,000 times in one day, back to back, back to back, back to back, repetition after repetition after repetition, listening to foolery. Their mind is absorbing that. You see, our minds is built different because we like the hardships. We like the difficult things. We like delaying the things so we can get a greater gain out of it. Right? You put that chicken in a pot, you put all them seasonings in, you know that if you let that pot cook on a low heat, it may take a little longer, but you know all that flavor is gonna soak into that chicken. And you know once that meal gets presented on that plate, you know it's gonna be very delicious. That's why we take our time and we build. We don't run out fast to go order a pizza. Go to the quick fast food chain, go get something to eat. Nah, we take our time with it. Get that cutting board, cut up them veggies. Get them fresh herbs, some seasonings, man. That tough act is over with. That's why they feel some type of way when they come in your presence. Because you're not putting on a tough act. You just tough naturally. Because you went through a lot of tough situations in your life and you had to overcome it. A lot of nights you was up pondering, thinking how you gonna get through it. And when that day started and the Most High raised that sun up, the day was bright, you felt good. You felt like it was another day to be the best that you can be and to make some improvement, and you did make that improvement. You got some clarity on some situation, and that's why you kept on moving forward. So the position that you in right now, you're standing up tall and upright right now, full of confidence, no fear, all power, all strength through Yahushua HaMashiach. So we don't fear nothing out here. That's why we don't fear none of these tactics. We don't fear none of these individuals out here that like to huddle up in groups. Right? We don't fear these tactics, man. That's a fear tactic. That means they got fear in their hearts. And a lot of people got fear in their hearts, not because of things that they went through, but things that other people going through. Right? You see, when you little, when you a young child, you watching these horror films, that's demonic. They're already putting fear into your heart already at a young age. All for something that you never went through. When you really go through certain things, that fear gets dissipated, man. When you go through times where things are shaky, that's why wisdom says, wisdom brings fear upon you. It walks with you in the crooked places. It brings fear upon you. And then when wisdom could trust you, it brings you back to peace. That it could trust your soul. So now it could teach you things. It could show you secrets. That's all based off of experience. That's not based off of movies and TV screens and things of that nature. Right? There's a lot of times, fellas, we ain't had nowhere. We were sleeping in our cars at times. Some of us was homeless, probably sleeping at the park, probably sleeping at the shelter. Right? Moving like a nomad, probably going from city to city. Just trying to find shelter, trying to get your way up, probably sleeping on the trains, doing something. You know, but you made it happen. Look at your situation now. Yahuwah was walking through you through all that. But for someone to put on a tough act because they like to beat the block, they like to be in the streets, they very insecure, like that is a soft way to present yourself. To act tough, that's a soft way to present yourself. That's why these tough acts, they can't really look at you. These tough acts, they act tough, but when they come close, that's why they can't look at you. Because your presence outshine them. Your presence moved them out the way. Experience moved the fakes out of the way. When you really been through that experience, when you really have that on your belt, you move all that fake stuff out the way. You move all that. We got experience on our side. That's why on this walk right now, you delaying the gratification, you putting away these iniquities. That's why you look so built. That's why you bring so much intimidation and so much correction when you come around people. That's why you got people back standing up straight. That's why people, they like to say good morning to you sometimes. That's why some people, they stand straighter in the lines. That's why you be having women fixing up theyself for you. Even though in the same breath, you already know there's something going on. But when we come around, we set that tone. And you set that tone for yourself in your life because you knew what you signed up for. Nothing in your life was handed to you on a platter. You had to go through the pain. You had to go through the adversity. That's what builds that character. Now, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see the man who you are. You don't forget your natural face looking at yourself. A lot of these tough acts and these people that's confused out here, when they look at themselves, they can't even identify themselves. That's why they always want to rearrange themselves and alter their appearance. It's always something they got to change about them. They got to change something. New trends, they got to change something. They got to change their style. They got to change this and that. A lot of us been the same. Same style. Body just got bigger. That's it. Because we in that weight room training hard. That's it. Still like a nice little casual button up from time to time. Some nice clean jeans. Some nice clean presentable shoes. Right? Take care of yourself, groom right. Y'all already know. Through that experience, we know how to manage ourselves. The Most High take care of us. He gives us what we need. And he says, all right, manage yourself now. Here you go. Here's this, that, and the third. Now manage yourself with it. Anything else you need, just pray, believe, and you will receive. God put them transgressions away. So now you look at yourself as a man right now and you see your position. You're like, wow, it all makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Because those that go through the experience, they outweigh those that just put on the act. Hope y'all been edified. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother, UncleK. I appreciate y'all for tuning into another one. Like, share, comment down below, and if you're not a supporter, become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend. Continue to have a Baruch day. Keep a sound mind and a sound heart. And I'll see you soon, Most High willing. But for now, peace.